Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Today, I am so super duper excited to have this amazing woman here. She doesn't even know what I'm going to say after this little introduction. But today, we are joined by the incomparable Dionne McGee. Dionne is an empowerment speaker, the author of Finding Your Roar, the president of DG McGee Enterprises, and also the founder of the coaching program R.O.A.R University. Through her work, Dionne helps individuals and organizations find their road to success. Dionne, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Listen, you did an excellent job. I'm excited to be here. I truly appreciate you. And first, let me say congratulations on the show.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are most
I've been
welcome.
waiting to have you on the show. I had to, in my head, I had to get myself together before I could have you on the show.
Listen, because let's have an honest, transparent moment. Because when I first saw the show, I was like, okay. I was like, Doc has a show. I was like, where's my invite? I was starting to feel a certain type of way. So she's not gonna invite me to the show.
Stop playing.
So here we are, full circle. We are here. I'm proud of you. It's excellent.
Thank you. Yes. Y'all, so let me just give y'all a little bit of background of how I first got introduced to Miss Dionne here and why I had to get myself together to have her on the show. So it was last year, right before the pandemic hit, I went to my very first sort of, I guess, women's empowerment symposium, event, whatever. I don't know what you want to call it. Right. And I had never been to one in my entire life. That was my first time.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
No, I've been to the big women's empowerment at the PNC Center, but nothing specifically like that.
Okay.
And Dionne was the first speaker that day. And let me tell you, I was there, I was already nervous. I was like, okay, I'm here by myself. I don't know why I'm here. This woman came on and tore the roof off of the building and had everybody on their feet dancing, in all, just sitting there hanging on her every word. I'm hearing her. And honestly, Dionne, you never knew this. When I saw Dionne, I was like, yes, I can do this. Oh my gosh, she is doing this. She is empowering all these women to be their best and find their role. Yes, that is what I want. That is what I want.
Right.
And so that was my first introduction to you, Dionne. So kind of where I am now, you are part of that story.
Oh my goodness, you have made my day. Oh wow.
Where I am now. So I appreciate you. Before we even jump into the conversation, I had to let you know
that's beautiful. That is beautiful. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
That's exactly what it's all about.
Yes. So, ma'am, we need to know. I know you didn't start off just, on this stage here. So tell us how you kind of got to that stage at this one woman event from your corporate time in project management, right? Is where you started.
So where it started was the corporate walk. I spent 20 some odd years in corporate America, and part of my role in that space was to empower women that were in leadership. So the skinny is, and part of what my book is about is my story as an African American woman trying to get a seat at the table, trying to climb this corporate ladder in a place that was not as diverse, equitable, or inclusive as it needed to be. So, some days were tougher than others, knives in your back. We won't go through the whole story, but it was a struggle, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where I felt the need to share the story, to write the book, because I knew that there were other women that were dealing with those same issues, trying to get a seat at the table. So part of my role in that space was leadership talks. So I was going on tours around the country with some of my partners, doing women's leadership conferences, helping women find that seat that I spoke about in my book at the table, coaching, mentoring. If I wasn't speaking, I was leading the panel. If I wasn't leading the panel, I was on the panel. So something was happening, right? And that turned into the meeting planner saying to me, I don't know what it is that you really do in your corporate job. So I was leading a sales organization. So my role was, I was the leader of a proposal team. So I had a team, we're winning multi-million-dollar accounts. There's an African-American woman at the helm of the organization winning the company crazy money, right? So the meeting planner said, you know, I'm sure you're great at that, but you might want to tap into this speaking thing because the people, the surveys, the questionnaires people are sending back are phenomenal. So they will always send me all the feedback that people would say. And it got to the point that people said they weren't going to buy a ticket for the upcoming event until they were sure that whether I was going to be there or not. I was like, get out of here, bro. I kid you not. I said, get out of here. I was like, no, I said, you know, if you need me, I will help you. But as far as me leaving my job to be a speaker, I was like, ma'am, it's not happening. It's like, no, right? So that's where, I mean, I've spoken, you know, even coming through school, I knew I had this speaker thing in me, but the part that I had issues with, Doc, was the fact that I've never seen anyone speak as a career or a business was the piece that I was missing, right? So in my eyes, this is something that I do for fun. This is my outlet type thing, right? So that's how it just started originally. And then as I continued to do it, something just, that lion started to roar in me that we'll talk about. That's where the roar comes from. And it was like, girl, you got to do it. I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. It was so bad that I could not sleep without doing it. If I wasn't doing it, I couldn't sleep at night. That's how bad it got. So when you saw me at that space, that was me without a lot of sleep. I lost a lot of hours and it took a lot of prayer to get to that space. And I was like, I just got to do it. Like there is no turning back. I must. I said, because there are women such as yourself that are waiting on me to do this so that they can do what you just said, what they need to do. So the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You said something that stood out to me there, which was you had never seen anyone do that as a career. Yeah. And I find that interesting because in corporate, even in my time in corporate, I never dreamed of leaving corporate because I never saw anybody that did entrepreneurship. I never saw anybody that you know had their own business. To your point, and it's hard to dream or even think of doing things when you haven't been exposed to that type of environment, that type of career. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yes. So you made this change. You found your calling and sort of stepped into this speaker space. And you said you had hours where you didn't sleep because you were being pulled. You know, how did that sort of transition work in your family dynamic?
Wow. So in my family dynamic, my family already knew, right? My friends already knew. Everybody knew. I even knew, but I was running from it, right? Because, you know, even in the space of entrepreneurship, if you don't see it, I mean, we talk about the Les Browns and the Lisa Nichols of the world. I mean, those are people we don't know. They're out there and it's possible for them because they're different from us and they have support and they have this and we don't know these people, right? So I did not know anyone in my immediate circle, but my family knew I was supposed to be doing this. My church family knew I was supposed to be doing this. Everybody knew that I was supposed to be doing this, but I'm going to be comfortable.
Right.
And okay, I'm going to be comfortable in this safe space because I'm guaranteed, okay, X amount as far as salary. I don't have to work so hard and figure out what the end all is going to be because I've already agreed and this is what my salary is. So I'm good, right? But to go out and create, to generate, that's a little bit scary. Yeah, that's a little bit scary, not just from a speaker standpoint, but any entrepreneur to get beyond working the 40, 50, 60 hours a week and generating your own stream of income. That doesn't happen overnight. Like something has to happen inside of you and something has to happen in your life to make you get to that place. And what shook me was being an African-American woman and writing that book. My book was therapeutic for me, but not only was it therapeutic, I honestly never intended to write a book. My intentions were pretty much just to get it out of my head from a therapeutic standpoint to free me. These are the issues that I'm dealing with day to day. I had like an Evernote little journal thing that I was keeping a log, right? And I'm sitting in my office one day and God's like, it's time to write the book. I said, what book?
What book?
What book? Right. So he was like, all those notes you took, you thought it was for HR, you thought it was for your vice president to help you remove some of these toxic individuals from your team, because they weren't excited to have an African-American leader, right? The company was 4,000 employees, less than 10% minorities. And you looking at the only woman, African-American woman that was sitting in the executive table. So it was like, it was tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the book is what really pushed me to really go and do it. So when I wrote the book, my family was like, oh, it's on now. Like there's no turning back. Now we cannot stop her at this point. So the book is what really put the fire under me. I said, you know what? This is not even about you, Dionne. This is about the Dr. Erikas of the world and all the women that you may know and ones that you have yet to meet, that you will meet because of your speaking, because of your book. So, you know, I was like, I don't have a choice. You know, and a lot of what we are scared to do is tied to someone else's future. And I don't want that kind of accountability. So let me just go do what I'm supposed to do, right? And not have that on me to not do it. And then my other sister here never does what she's supposed to do because she never heard me speak, right? Yeah. So my family thinks I'm a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, because I eat, sleep, and breathe it. Like there is no turning off of the lion, because I see the big picture. I see what's necessary. And what really got me from a family dynamic, as you say, is a lot of times what I find in talking to women or even coaching women is simply that we have all these roles, all these titles, all these responsibilities. And, you know, we're mothers, wives, daughters, sisters, friends, we're caretakers. We're doing all these things for so many other people. But what are we doing for ourselves? Right. Nothing. Like nothing. So I had a lot of people say to me, well, when my kids get 18, I'm going to find my best life and that. Why can't you have it now? And raise your kids and be a mom, right? So we always put things on the back burner. I didn't want that to be my story. And I wanted other women to know that it didn't have to be their story. It makes you a better mom and a better wife because you're a better you. Yeah.
I love that you said that, because I hear people say that all the time, like, I have kids, you don't understand, because I don't have kids. You don't understand what it's like to have kids. I can't do that, X, Y, and Z now. And I think a lot of times we get so consumed in the notion that you have to take 8 hours of your day to work on something for your business or work on something for you. When the matter of fact is, any small amount of time that you can dedicate to growing your business, to making yourself a better person, to doing whatever, it's going to move you along the journey, as opposed to waiting until some magical moment when everything falls into place.
Whatever that is, whenever that, somebody please tell me what a magical moment is.
Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Exactly.
Nope. Just got to go do it. You just got to go do it. And I tell, people all the time, whatever your target date is, let's say it's December the 31st, right? Your target date is December the 31st, that you want to write the book, start your business or what have you. December the 31st is going to come whether you do it or not, right? So why not have something to celebrate when December the 31st comes?
Right.
And just a little bit a day. No, you don't. This is not something that you have to do, 10, 12 hours a day. You can't eat the whole elephant at one time. Take snippets, bite off chunks of the elephant, and December 31st will be here before you know it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. So let's talk about, you mentioned the book and finding your roar. So what exactly is a roar, Dionne? What are we talking about here?
We are talking about being relentless, optimistic, ambitious, and results driven. I want everyone that I encounter to come from behind the curtain, right? To not be afraid, to get beyond the fear. Because even as I said, when I say finding your roar, I found mine. I found my happy space. I found the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, the thing that makes me tick, where I told you I can't turn it off. The thing that I have been called, equipped, and created to do, and that is to help others get to their next level. So what we have done at this point, when we first started, it was more motivational speaking. I'm going to always do that. That's just who I am.
Exactly. I was about to say, that's just you. No matter what you say, you could be reading a recipe
Yeah,
it's going to be motivational some kind of way. Yes.
absolutely. I'm gonna always do that. But at the end of the day, what I found was, my book itself talks about, as I said, the challenges that we as a people sometimes have getting to that space to be able to grow, to be able to excel. And I'm a firm believer that we stimulate our own economy. Corporate America can't stifle us or tell us that we can and we cannot do certain things. They cannot stop us from growing and excelling. So we focus now from a business company standpoint on more leadership.
Okay.
And what that leadership looks like from our perspective from DG McGee Enterprises is we have 3 pillars. Pillar 1 is to help those college students transition into the workplace beyond the unconscious bias. What is it going to take for you to smoothly transition into an opportunity, and what does that look like? Because the workspace is now different. Originally it was to help those that are in pillar 2. And when I say pillar 2 are those that are high potential employees growing to that space of leadership. So those were the people that I initially targeted, simply because that was the last decade of my career. And that was my challenge, trying to get a seat at the table, but they couldn't deny me because my work ethic was strong, right? I went above and beyond. Yes, I have pigmentation to my skin, but what difference does it make as long as the job gets done, right? So pillar 2 is to help those that are, entry level, that have, want to grow and excel and find challenges. So those are who we talk to concerning that. So that's workshops, seminars, keynotes, etc. And then pillar 3, as for what I call the misfits, which is you and I, the misfits that say, hey, I've got this entrepreneur itch, if you will, and I have to go do this thing, right? So how do you transition out of the workspace into starting your own space, such as I have done right here, and I'm loving it, right? So those are the 3 pillars. So it's college students, it's high potential employees, and then they're the entree leaders. So all 3 pillars are from a leadership standpoint. But I said, we're missing something if we don't talk to the students coming out of school, so they'll know how to maneuver getting in the workspace, right? For those that are already there, they don't, like in the 90s, you can get a opportunity and you can get a training, right? Training would be, 6 weeks, 8 weeks of training. Then you go out to your, to your position, right? No, now as you got the promotion, here's a stack of files or papers and emails, figure it out type thing, right? No one is training leaders. They're just throwing work at the leaders, and they are not prepared to grow and excel. So the book talks about what the challenge was from a leadership standpoint. So I teach, I speak from that space to help those that are really trying to grow and excel. And then we have those that services that we offer, which are project management services. We offer services for the entrepreneurs. A lot of entrepreneurs out here are starting out. They need proposals, right? They are filling out these grant applications in the season that we're in, and they don't know what to put in a grant to win a grant. Business owners also need capability statements. And for those that don't know, a capability statement is your business resume. So we have packages for that as well. So DG McGee Enterprises has more of speaking to a leadership and business consulting firm. And yes, I still speak. I will always speak. I gotta speak. So there you have it.
Wow. So, okay. I have a question here, because
Okay.
you went through the entire sort of spectrum of how you grew your business. And a lot of times I think new entrepreneurs, we see more seasoned entrepreneurs and where they are and think that it's sort of a hop, skip, and a jump to get there. So can you kind of help put us in perspective how long it took to get from where you started to where your business is now?
Wow. Let's see. So what that looked like was, with the climate, I'll say, that we're in right now, I feel like we've all had to pivot in some way, shape, or form, right? So with that, I honestly had to sit and lay out. I sat at my desk and I was like, okay, not getting on the stage right now, because stage is closed, outside is closed, right? So what are all my skills, okay? And who do I know that fits in that? So anything that I'm doing, it's not about me.
Right.
anything that I'm doing, I want it to be a space where we can help other people. So of course, my network is full of business owners, entrepreneurs, speakers, trainers, facilitators, right? So what happened was I laid out everything that my subject matter expertise is, right? And one of the things that I left out was the project management piece. I left out a lot because I was just really honed in and focused on the speaking piece and missing other parts and pieces of not just a speaker, but a full-blown enterprise and offering more services, and which is where R.O.A.R University came from. But it took, a good 2 years to really get to this space, from speaking to more consultancy and services. But it wasn't overnight. And I'm telling you, it was a process. It was a process that was necessary, but it was a learning process and it was growth. So I lost nothing, and I gained even more, because now we're able to bring other people on the team. So now we have our subcontractors. Like, I can't speak and train everywhere, right? So when we get contracts are coming in. If I can't do it, someone else on my team can do it. So that creates opportunity for others, especially, as I said, to the climate. A lot of jobs have closed, and people have been downsized, reductions of force, whatever you want to call it. Now that gives us an opportunity to say, hey, we have an opportunity for you to go speak, train, facilitate, what have you, with one of our clients, opposed to just a individual on a stage speaking.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. I'm sorry. I had to say I had to say that for a moment. But do you think you would have made that shift had COVID not hit? Or do you think you would have still been on the speaking route?
You know what? That's an excellent question. And honestly, I probably would have stayed in that speaking silo for a little bit longer, and not have really given it the thought that it needed to make that change and to make that, pivot. And I'm a firm believer of, sometimes things have to happen. Sometimes things have to devastate you, right, in order to move you. So, as I said, you can be comfortable, right? I was comfortable speaking. I was fine. I was doing my thing, right?
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize is how much bigger it could really be until COVID. So, that's where we are. And then sometimes I'm like, girl, why you didn't think about this before? Like, why you didn't do this before? So yeah, but now it has come full circle, and it's just amazing to me how we plan. We can sit out and strategize, and we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and da, 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 da. And we're not in control of any of this, right? God's in control of all of it, and He just kind of laid this whole blueprint out before me. I was like, oh, I get it now. I see it now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. For me, it's hard to be in that moment sometimes, though, right? When you think you have what you think is supposed to happen, and it's not happening when you want it to or how you want it to. But I definitely agree, because I never planned to have a podcast.
Okay.
It was an accident.
Okay, well, it's a great accident. Listen.
It was an accident. I opened my mouth and said I wanted to interview some women, and just kind of fell into it. And it has been, I think, the greatest thing for me and my business, because switching careers completely from a pharmaceutical space to entrepreneur space, it's helped me to sort of grow into this business owner. It's helped me to grow my network and be able to see those people that I wasn't able to see before doing things in this space and thriving and being successful in their own rights. So I completely agree with that.
Yes.
So COVID did not kill everything, people. COVID has been amazing.
No, it did not. It did not. It has been a game changer, and it's gonna be different. It is different. It's a new normal, if you will. Things are not gonna be what they were, but it doesn't mean we stop. We just have to move different in this space. That's all.
Exactly. So I want to get back to this concept of the R.O.A.R. And I'm just wondering, in your perspective, and I'm speaking towards women in particular.
Okay.
Why do you think that some of us just have a purr and not a big roar, and we've lost that sort of ability to be relentless and optimistic and ambitious?
I honestly think that our purr, and I tell people all the time, there are stages to it. So, you know, and it's funny that you say that. That's one of my my slides in my presentation. It's a kitty cat. The first is for you, didn't even seen that, right? It's a kitty cat. The second part of it is a lion in the zoo.
Okay.
And then the last piece of it is a lion in the jungle with his cub, right?
I love that.
Overlooking the jungle off of a cliff, right? So the purr, I think we all start with the purr at some point, right? But there are things that happen to us in life that cause us to morph into different people. You know, life happens, and life can sometimes catapult you to places and spaces that will make you change. But the purr is what I mentioned before, the roles and responsibilities, because we feel as if we have too much on us, where and the fact that we are women, we are natural born nurturers. So we take care of everyone else except ourselves, right? So as we're taking care of everyone else, the clock is ticking, time is going by, and we feel like we missed our moment because we've done this, and this for other people. They're growing, they're excelling, and we're getting the joy out of seeing what we have helped produce, right? However, we're not producing for ourselves, and that is where the issue lies. I've seen it one time too many, and it is heartbreaking. I just want to get all the women in the world in one room and just let them know, you know, how great we are, how great you are. For those that are listening, like seriously, the purr comes from that. Then it gets to the becoming this lion, knowing, hey, I'm supposed to do something. I want to do something, but I feel trapped. And feeling trapped is still that space where you have these responsibilities, but I'm growing. I'm not a kitty cat anymore. I'm this lion, but I still feel like I'm in this cage, right? And I tell people all the time, the difference between a lion in the jungle and a lion in the zoo is the lion in the zoo is waiting for someone to come feed them a steak. Okay. All right. They're waiting on the zookeeper to come and feed them. The lion in the jungle will eat by any means necessary and will take care of the cub and leaving the legacy. That's the difference. So when you get to a space where you say, you know what, I have had it, I have to go do me, doesn't make me less of a this, that, or the other, right? You become better, because when you're happy, everybody's happy. Nobody wants to be around someone that's miserable, that's not doing what they have been called to do, right? When you get to that space, then all bets are off. All bets are off, and then you teach others that are listening to your podcast. You teach other women, other people in your circle. You teach your children how to have this relentless, optimistic, ambitious, and results-driven attitude. No, we're not all going to have a podcast. No, we're not all going to be authors or business owners, but we all have something that we're supposed to do. And so we can get to that space and find out that doing it won't kill you, okay? Then we're all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all have something that we are meant to do to leave some type of impact on this world, right?
Yeah.
And I think some of us probably struggle with trying to figure out what it is that we're called to do. What's our purpose? Like, what is that thing? What would you say to women that are in that space of, I hear you, Dionne, but I don't know what my thing is. Like, I can't figure it out. What would you say to them?
What I would say to them is, if you don't know your thing, those that are near and dear to you, ask them, what is it that you feel I am great at? And because again, we're natural born nurturers. So there are things that we are doing naturally, and we don't even realize that it is a gift, possibly an opportunity, could be a business, right? You could be out here just counseling people and not even real. Everybody comes to Sally because Sally has a great listening ear, and Sally, talked me off of a ledge, for 3-4 times, and so and so and so. Sally doesn't realize that she could be a coach, that she could have a full-blown coaching business, but she's just doing it because this is her friend, this is her niece, this is her whoever, and she wants to help, but not realizing that it could be bigger than that, right? I have a relative in my family who makes amazing pies. Like, I don't eat other people's sweet potato pies. And I've told her 1,000 times, you need to open a bakery. Nobody's listening to me. Like, I'm telling you, like, these things that you do for fun or just a natural part of your DNA could be a business.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that, it's not, sometimes we overthink things. I just took a training. I just got certified as a ice house facilitator, and the backdrop to it, it was a gentleman back in the Mississippi Delta. We talking Jim.
Is that the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unlike Uncle Cleve, the 8 unlikely lessons of an entrepreneur, right? But the thing is this, to get to the point, they were picking cotton in the Mississippi Delta, 100 degrees, right? So to the overthinking part, people needed ice. The man froze water and sold it.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't take rocket science. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so simple. It's so simple. He loaded his truck up with ice, and people in the community would leave notes on the porch as to how many pounds of ice they needed. He would drop it off and sell them ice. So we don't have to really be wrecking our brains trying to figure out, I don't know my skill, my gift, my talent. The first place you start, after, you talk to your family, your friends, but the other place, what is it you're doing in your job? What is it that you have been hired to do? Clearly, you have to be good at that because they want to hire you, right? So for those that are business administrators, why can't you start a business administrating business? You know what I'm saying? Administration business owners, entrepreneurs need help with their business, and they don't have time to do everything that needs to be done. Get clients and start doing some business administration work for entrepreneurs. Like, whatever it is you already doing, turn it into a business. That's all for yourself. Yeah.
I heard about that book. They teach it in the small business
centers.
Yeah. In Raleigh. Yep. I thought that was amazing. I had never heard of that until I went to that meeting. I didn't know you could get certified in it.
I will send you the info. Yes, ma'am.
You just taught me something.
Yeah, there's a full-blown certification that goes along with the book. I have shared it and taught with North Carolina Wesleyan. Getting ready to do some work with Winston-Salem State. So it's a thing. It's a real thing. Wow. Because where we are right now with so many jobs closing, people need to know how to stimulate and generate their own income. And we can no longer, not that we could before, but people really get it now, right? We could no longer depend on the 9 to 5 to sustain us. So you must have, it's not even an option at this point. You must have an additional stream of income. You just got it. That's just what it is. So this course helps stimulate that. They even start teaching it in middle school. Middle school, high school, of course, adults, but it's huge because if we can instill this information into students before they graduate, then we have a better shot. Because as I said before, I didn't know anyone or had seen anyone in my immediate circle that had been a speaker or a Black woman-owned business, right? Had someone come to my school as a Black-owned businesswoman, I'd have been like, oh my God, or a speaker.
They exist.
Right. Or a speaker. So now we're trying to capture students early before they get in the workforce. Because let's be honest, all students are not going to college. And the technical schools now are the new universities because of the climate, to maximize the cost, and minimize the cost of, a 4-year university. So a lot of kids are going to 2-year schools to start, right? But if you teach them entrepreneurship, and it's not even just about the entrepreneurship piece, Doc. It is, if you have this mindset of an entrepreneur, whether you start a business or not, or you in the workplace, the mindset creates growth even as an employee. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's crazy, but it does.
Yeah, I completely agree with that because even it hasn't been a year yet since I left corporate, right? And just my mentality and just how I think about stuff has changed so drastically in the less than 11 months that I feel like I would be a different employee if I was back in corporate now.
There you go.
Because of these experiences.
Exactly.
But we don't have these conversations, and to your point, we don't have this type of training or this type of information in that space. And I think it's sort of a missed opportunity.
Yes. Yeah, I said, I wish someone had said that to me
Yeah.
when I was in junior high school. Oh, you talking about a lion? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been a lion a long time ago if I had known that, you know, so yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So now where can they find the book?
Oh, wow. So Finding Your Roar is available on Amazon. All things Amazon. Yeah, so it's available on Amazon. And I'm super excited about it. I'm excited about the course that goes along with it, because my main thing is I want to help individuals not just be stagnant in corporate. I had one lady say to me in a session that I did with Dale, she said, young lady, she said, can I ask you a question? I said, sure. She said, I'm about 30 days shy of retiring. She said, and I just want to know something. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, what's your question? She said, where were you 30 years ago? And my heart dropped, right? She said, if I had had this information 30 years ago, my entire career could have been different if I had had what you just shared today. I said, wow. She said, I could have even retired early. I said, yeah. I said, the thing about this, I said, if we could ever understand that we get to stimulate our own economy, then our mindset will be different. I used to always tell my vice president, I said, one or two things are going to happen in us working together. And he's like, what's that, Dionne? I said, either I'm going to grow or I'm going to go. So you got that's my playbook. My playbook is real simple. It's real simple. It's real simple. So, you know, he wanted the two. And he would just laugh. He said, but you mean that? I said, dead serious.
Oh, gosh.
Dead serious.
I love that.
So if we have that mentality, like, don't let the leaders say to you, no, you're not qualified. If you're not qualified for an opportunity, find out why you're not qualified. And whatever that is, if that means you have to go get a degree, if that means you have to get a certification or some other type of professional development training, come talk to us. That's what we're talking about. So it could be a no in the beginning, but the no has to turn to a yes at some point.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't turn to a yes, then you have some other issues you're dealing with. Then we need to come talk about the unconscious bias. And then you just pack up your things and you go somewhere else, because you know, you are who you are. Your skill set is what your skill set is. And that's just one place. There are multiple places that you can be employed, or you'll be a misfit like us and just say, y'all have it. We out of here. We can ready to go do our own thing. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Either way works.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna win in the end. That's all that matters.
That's it. That's it.
Cool. Now, Dionne, speaking of the titles, because you have many titles. You are a CEO, president, speaker, trainer, mom, wife, commentator at Watch Chapel.
Oh, that's right.
Shout out to Pastor White and First Lady. How y'all doing?
That's right. Shout out to Pastor White and First Lady Shantae. Yes.
So with all those things going on, how do you keep it together and keep Dionne moving forward?
Listen, the only way, people ask me that all the time, the only way I keep it together is my relationship with Christ, first and foremost. You know, I laugh, joke, cut up, or what have you. I get down to business, but I know for a fact that had I not been part of the body of Christ, we wouldn't be talking. We wouldn't be talking. My girlfriend and I have the conversation that we were born with not silver spoons, but plastic spoons in our mouths, right? So this is what you are seeing is the result of favor and grace. I'm the period in a story, but the way that I really keep it all together is as I said, part of our services are project management. So I eat, sleep, and breathe project management. I drive my husband crazy because he's like, you're not going to project manage me. I said, yes, I am. So, and look, take this list, and when you get done, bring it back to me with everything checked off that you did that I asked you to do. Yeah, you will be project managed. We got stuff to do, dude, like for real. So that really is how I keep it together. There has to be some order and some structure and some balance. So, I'm a workaholic, and I realized that I am a workaholic, and I really had to have a conversation with myself, because after working 60 hours a week for the last 10 years of my life, I realized why I work the way that I work. And it's hard to turn that off if you've done it for so long. But I had to have a conversation like, no, we're not doing this, because it started to feel corporate-esque, if you will, right? I was like, no, we're not doing this. This is your space. You create the space. Then you can't have but so many meetings in one day, right? Because there is actual work that you have to get done. So if you are in 5 Zooms in one day, you're not gonna get anything done till at night. And at that point, you're fried, okay? And you can't, you fading fast, because I get up early. So in me getting up early, I have to go to bed early. I can't stay up to midnight and be popping up at 5 or 6. That's not gonna work out for me. You don't want to talk to me at 5 or 6, and I just went to bed at 12 o'clock. It's not gonna work. So there has to be that balance. There has to be that structure. And the fact that I am a project manager at heart, I just have everything laid out on a calendar. This is what I'm going to do. This is what needs to be done. This is the window it needs to be done in. And now, having additional people on the team, I can balance that out a little bit more. And it works. It works. And of course, I have to have that family time. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And I love that you spoke on recognizing your own patterns, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's a big thing that some people don't take the time to reflect upon how they're using their time, or what their energy levels are, or how they kind of their MO. And right. So being able to understand that and reflect on that and make that change, and know that you are the CEO of your business. You are making these meetings and these times be extraordinary, and you have the power to change that and make your days what you want them to be. Because we don't want to build this business to just be working.
Correct. Correct. And we have been in spaces before where it was work. Yeah. I was like, yeah, we've been there, we done that. And I just told my husband, I said, you know where I am right now? He said, where are you? I said, I'm in a stage in my life that all I'm going to do is what I want to do and what I like to do. And if I don't want and like to do it, I'm not doing it. That's it. It's just that simple, like for real. So, to all those that are out there that are entrepreneurs, business owners, don't stress yourself out trying to make all these things happen in this tight little window. That's one of my tips. That is what I have learned, because it will be stressful. You don't want your business to be stressful. Yes, you're gonna have to work. Yeah, it's gonna be blood, sweat, and tears. Yes, you're gonna take naps sometimes, but you don't need to take naps every day. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because I tell people, if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you don't sleep 8 hours. You don't have that. You're not fortunate enough to be able to sleep 8 hours, especially when you're just starting it, right? But as you get your footing, relax a little bit. And I'm telling you all what I had to tell myself, like, girl, chill out. Like, for real, it's gonna happen. It might not happen as fast as we want it to happen, but it is going to happen. I spent the last quarter of last year working on our business certifications. And I was privy to working with the government. So we know the government don't do anything fast. I was like, this certification, like my patience is being tested, Lord. But anyway, get to the point. We got them. Everything is fine. Nobody died. I still got a pulse or whatever. It's all good. But I was starting to feel that. So yeah. Control your own schedule. Balance things out. Don't try to take too many meetings to meet this client, this, that, and the other. Set a schedule as to how many meetings you're going to take a day. I realized that 2 is my max. And then that allows me the rest of the day to actually get some work done. If and that's how you work it.
I mean, you stop talking to me.
Am I talking? Like, for real. Yeah, some of this stuff, so now my thing is, now I'm not available this week. Let's tap into the following week. As bad as you want to meet with them in the upcoming week, as long as you have had that communication that we are meeting, it might not be this coming week, right? And then whether you're fresher in the morning or in the afternoon. I'm fresh in the morning. Yeah. Okay. So I would prefer to have my meetings in the morning and then give me the afternoon to actually do work, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and it could be reversed for other people, but a lot of times we just being 4 or 5 meetings a day. And then you gotta follow up and send this email. And while you're doing all these meetings, your inbox is flooding in. And now you gotta now you feel obligated to respond to all these people that emailed you in the course of the day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So don't do it to yourself. Don't do it.
I'm just getting to that point. Like the first few months, I was that I'm not gonna sleep. I have to be in my office every day, 10 hours a day trying to get stuff done. And I can't. It was not. I was burning out.
Yeah.
And you really weren't getting anything done. You were just busy in those times and not really productive. So.
Right, exactly. And make sure you get some exercise in there.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. What's your favorite type of exercise, Dionne?
So I am a walker, right? Okay. I'm a walker / jogger. Our community is about 2.5 miles. So I walk it a good 4 times a week. However, today is day 1 where I'm going to add some weight training into that. Y'all pray for me. Some weight training into that, and we're gonna step it up a little bit and see what happens. So
okay. Sounds good. I love it. All right, ma'am. Well, we are almost to the end of this chat. They always go so fast. So now did you enjoy it?
I did, yes.
I love it. So now question for you, just one last question.
Okay.
In the next, 5 years, where do you see DG McGee Enterprises?
Oh, wow. That question. I see the team growing. I see outside open. Okay.
Girl.
Okay. I see outside open. I see me. I see part of my team on a stage somewhere changing the lives of people across the nation. Okay. And it could be international at this point, because being in for so long has allowed me to really pull some layers off of some things and really finding what it is that not only individuals need, but corporations need, because that's where I come from. I'm a corporate chick, a diehard corporate chick will always be. But at the end of the day, everyone that knows me knows that I have a special place in my heart for women, because I am one. Women draw to me because I am one. And if nothing else, I want to help, those, as I said, that are students, those that are in the workplace, but specifically women, because we have to come from behind the curtain. I'm gonna share this one little piece with you, and we're gonna wrap up, as you said. What really put me in this position, Doc, was the fact that I was literally scared to death into being this speaker and starting this business. Did I share the story with you before?
No.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened. As I told you, I couldn't sleep at night. I knew I was supposed to speak, and I knew that there was more beyond corporate America. And I honestly believe that the Lord allowed all of that to disrupt and unfold in corporate America to push me to do what I was supposed to do. Because had it not happened, then I would have stayed there and been comfortable, comfortable being uncomfortable, if you will, right? So this one night, I go to sleep and I found myself at the gates of heaven. Long processional line, streets paved with gold, choir singing, everybody standing there trying to get in, right? I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous, this is beautiful, right? And I'm peeping to the left and peeping to the right, trying to see who it is that I know, because I know I did not dot all my I's and cross all my T's, so I might need a little favor, right? I mean, like I say, I'm corporate, I might need a letter of recommendation. I don't know where I'm gonna be able to make it, right? So I get to the front of the line and God comes to greet me. He says, welcome, daughter. I said, God, thank you for having me. I said, let me take this moment to let you know that I appreciate you keeping me and my family from danger seen and unseen for all of those years. He says, you're welcome, daughter. He says, stay right here. I'm going to go get your chart. I'll be right back. Now, oblige me. I don't believe it's charts in heaven. I ain't read it in the Bible nowhere about no charts.
We'll go with it. I like it.
Yeah. So he goes to get the chart. He comes back and he's flipping through the chart, Doc. And he says, looking at the chart, flipping the page. He says, I see where you accomplished a lot down on earth. He says, and I'm proud of you. You did a great job. He says, but something's missing from your chart. I got heart palpitations. I'm telling you, I am so close. Okay. 3 steps and I'm in heaven. I mean, I'm literally right there. All he has to do is open the gate,
Right.
and I'm in. Okay. He says, I'm not seeing in your chart where you became the empowerment, motivational, and inspiring speaker that I called, equipped, and created you to be. I'm not seeing where you became the business owner to be the example for others in your community that I called and equipped and created you to be. He said, I don't see it in the chart. Tears began to flow from my face. And I'm trying to find the words as a speaker to tell God why I didn't do what I was called, equipped, and created to do. It's quiet, it's straight silence. He's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and tears just flowing. I can't stop crying, crocodile tears. So how do you explain to the master that equipped you that you can't do something? So I wake up in a cold sweat.
Ooh.
Heart racing, pillow soaked. So from that point to this point is where the lion came from. Like, I have no choice. I have no choice. There is not an option for me to do this, because the truth of the matter is this: was it really a dream, or was I really at the gates of heaven and I had another opportunity to come back? Right? I can't answer that. I don't know. But what I do know is it won't happen again.
Right.
I will not get to the gates again. And we had this conversation. It can't happen.
Your chart's gonna be right.
What? My chart's gonna have rhinestones and studs and stuff on it. Ain't gonna be no questions. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be blinged out. He can be like, "Oh, Dionne, come on in."
Right.
He ain't even gonna stop me. Okay. We don't have nothing to talk about.
Wow.
Okay? So I said that to say, and I know you gotta go. I said that to say, for all those that are listening, you have been called, equipped, and created for something, for greatness. It might not be what I do. It might not be what Doc does, but whatever your thing is, get at it before it gets at you.
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
That, I don't even have nothing to say. Like, that's like a mic drop moment, dude. Like, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that you shared that, because we needed to hear that in this conversation.
It's real. It's real. I was literally scared to death. And so people are asking me, well, how did you get to that? I don't have a choice.
Right.
Like that can't happen for real. And the fact that, we trust him on some things. We trust God on things that we comfortable with.
Right.
But we don't trust him on the big stuff. Right. We say we trust him, but do you really trust him?
Right.
Or you kind of trust him?
Right. Not when it gets scary and hard and
What'd you say?
Not when it gets scary and hard and difficult.
Yeah.
No.
Like, because it would be like, God, if it's really you, make it thunder right now.
Right.
We play those kinds of games.
Yes.
I'm not a game player. If he told you, then it's going to happen. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Don't worry about the people. He's going to send the people. What he has to prepare first is you. Once you take the step, he's already playing the other part. But if you don't move, he can't do nothing.
Again, I'm gonna need you to stop talking to me.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna go. Look, I'm tapping into my watch chapel now. Okay, I'm trying to tell you.
I just said that thing yesterday. Like, I just need a sign. Okay, yeah. I'm good. All right.
There you go. I hadn't even planned on sharing that, so it was me.
All right. I guess that was my sign. All right.
There it is. That was your thunder.
Right, exactly. All right. Oh my gosh, Dionne. Thank you so much. But before we go, I have to do the Fab Four that I do for every guest.
All right.
So do you mind just giving me a few more minutes?
Sure.
Awesome. All right. So the Fab Four is just 4 quick questions that I have to ask.
Okay.
Number 1, what's the strangest food you've ever eaten?
Strangest food I have ever eaten is I don't know, Doc. Like, I mean, I just started eating sushi in the past 5-6 years. I don't think that's really strange at this point. At this point, well, it's just common.
Is it raw or cooked?
I tried raw. Raw is not for me. So I transferred to cook. Okay. So I can tell you, as a kid, my uncle tricked me into eating deer. Okay. And told me it was stew beef, and I was a little upset. I was like, this is not, because he did it with potatoes and onions and carrots, so it looked like stew beef. He tricked me, but when I bit into it, I was like, something's not right.
That's not beef.
No, not right. Oh, I know, raccoon.
Oh,
Raccoon. My grandmother used to cook that. It's pretty good, but I want to eat it as an adult. But when you're a kid and that's what's on the table, you better
right.
eat it there,
You
okay?
eat what's on your plate.
Raccoon, raccoon. Let's go with raccoon. Yeah.
That is a first. Okay. We'll take it. All right.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. If you had to pick a song to represent your life.
Oh, wow. That's 100% Katy Perry.
Oh, well.
Yeah. All day.
I don't know why that did not dawn on me.
That's all right. Listen, you are going to hear me roar. Yes, ma'am. All day, every day.
Yes. Okay. All right. Finish this statement. I
am a woman of faith put on this planet to help others find their road to success by being relentless, optimistic, ambitious, and results driven.
Yes.
Yes,
you are.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so
I
much for being here. I so appreciate
thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that I got to get you on the show. You just don't know how this makes my heart feel right now. So,
oh my goodness, the feelings are mutual. Like I said, I got a show. She not invited on the show. What's going on?
Oh gosh,
Excellent. I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Dionne, tell people where they can find you.
Oh man, you all can find me. My team has me all over the place except TikTok. I'm not a TikToker.
Ooh.
So I am Facebook. DG McGee motivates. Facebook, Instagram, on LinkedIn. It is Dionne DG McGee. YouTube as well. So we're in a few places and we tweet as well, DG McGee Motivate. So I'm pretty much everywhere that there is. I leave the TikTok and all those other spots for the youngsters. Okay. Yeah, I'm not TikToking yet.
Yeah, I just tried TikTok. That's a whole other story that we can have later. But yeah.
Yeah.
We will have all her details in the show notes.
Yeah. And website is dgmcgee.com.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
We'll have those for you. So if you didn't get the chance to write that down, I got you. Don't worry about it. It'll be there. So again, Dionne, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And you guys, no problem. Thank you as always for watching, and we will catch you all next time. Bye, guys.